Hello, welcome to Dear Source, your Ascendancy Hotline, your daily dose of spiritual guidance, where we dive deep into real life questions and struggles, use ancient wisdom and universal principles to find clarity, peace, and alignment. Whether you're navigating relationships, inner conflict, or seeking purpose, this is a space where we honor your journey with compassion, non judgment, and insights. Drawing from the universal laws, A Course in Miracles, the Law of One, and the Hermetic Principles, we are here to find answers, connect to your truth, and elevate your path to healing and growth. Now let's explore today's letter and connect with the wisdom of Source. And today's letter comes from Stuck and Seeking Clarity. And it reads, Dear Source, I'm feeling incredibly frustrated and confused right now. I've been working with a coach for a while, someone who came highly recommended and promised results if I followed their guidance. I've dedicated so much time, energy, and money into this process, hoping it would bring clarity and real change to my life. But honestly, I'm feeling more lost now than I ever did before. I've done everything you've asked of me. They've asked of me, pardon me. I've done everything they've asked of me. I followed their advice to the letter, but instead of seeing the progress I expected, I'm left feeling stuck and unsure of what's next. It's as if the steps I've taken haven't moved me any closer to my goals, and the more I try, the more confused I become. I don't know if it's me or if it's the coaching, but something just isn't working. How do I figure out if this path is truly right for me or if I need to find a different direction? I feel like I've wasted so much already, and I'm scared of making another mistake. Please help me understand where I'm going wrong and how to move forward. Sincerely, Stuck and Seeking Clarity. So thank you, Stuck and Seeking Clarity, for your beautiful letter. And what a nuanced discussion that we get to have, I think, today around just how do you use external resources, so coaching, therapy, any of that, on your healing journey for your highest and greatest good. And what I would start with is where did you start your place of coaching from? So what was that initial seeking that you had when you reached out to that individual? And what I would offer is, in seeking, we are in a state of lack. We are not in a state of abundance and in the wholeness of who we are. If we are seeking because we feel unfulfilled or we're lacking, or if I don't get better at this, then what we're going to get, even if we apply all the things that a coach might talk about, we're still going to come back from a place of lack. So my first offering in this conversation would be, where are you at on your journey? And how are you aligned with what you're here to do? And are you at a place where I want to align with a coach that's going to take me to the next level, versus if I don't do this or if something doesn't change, I'm never going to be successful. So if you have to look at the underlying programming that's running and saying, okay, why am I making a choice for that? And if you're starting from a place of not good enough, if I don't get this going, I'm such a failure, I've got to get this figured out, whatever it might be, you're just going to continuously cycle back to that same starting point. Yes, you may get some amount of results, but there's no sustainability, because the essence of where you started from was a place of lack. And so you're going to come back to that. And I would suggest really slowing down and really going, okay, where do I not feel whole and complete? Where am I putting external pressure on myself? And that also links to the whole conversation around non-doership and doer. And non-doership is the essence of who we are. It's our state of being. Do I feel whole and complete? Where is my essence of my soul truly at? Because if I'm starting from a space of complete wholeness and oneness, the actions that I then take are whole and one and are then energetically aligning me to then what I need to go do. Where if we come from a space of lack and we step into, I'm the individual doer here on this journey, and I'm going to make this change. And if I do these things, that is the ego. So I know we're here to be the essence of who we truly are. And I know I've spoken a lot about this in previous either episodes or on other videos I've put out around the ego, according to the Course in Miracles, is the illusion of the separate self. Our ego is our own energy designed to work against us. It was designed to keep us out of harm's way. And as we've evolved as a species, we're not in do or die situations very often. So the ego doesn't really have a place. So it's become more and more nuanced. And when I talk about it being the illusion of our separate self, I feel like I'm Erin and I'm the individual doer, and I'm going to cause some change as the ego self that is Erin, and not in alignment with the universe or source and in oneness with the whole, and understanding how I am in relationship with the universe, how the universe and I work together. And I'm coming from a place of trust and surrender and allowance, and knowing that my only job here is to align vibrationally to my highest frequency, because the universe is going to gift and deliver all the other things that we are desiring. So the other thing I would offer is that the universe is friendly. This universe is a friendly place. We are in a benevolent universe. This is it wants the whole of the good for all of us. It's not working against us, but what is working against us is our own selves, our own illusion of ourself, of I'm the individual doer and I'm somehow going to cause my results to happen, versus am I vibrationally attuned to where I'm supposed to be going and allowing the universe to orchestrate and bring in, because we are magnetic beings. We're the creators of our own reality. We're drawing into us our own reality. So if I believe something, that's going to be made manifest. And the time and when, again, that's on the universe. And time really doesn't exist. That's another mental construct that we've designed for ourselves. So like, are we just becoming an available space to allow the universe to bring it in? Are we matching the frequency of what we want to receive? So I think first and foremost, what I would offer is, how do you turn and look at yourself and go, okay, where am I really at? What mental programs am I running? And where are those coming from? Are those coming from a sense of lack? Are they coming from a sense of, I've got to get this result or everybody's going to think I'm a failure and I'm attached to the outcome? Am I coming from a place of control and fear? And if I don't do this, what's going to happen? So you've got to kind of ask yourself, kind of, where are you starting from? Where are you at? And then what I would offer up is, how do you then find coaches that are really working on fine tuning and working on the root cause or the energetic pieces of what I just described to attune you to your highest frequency to allow for what's meant to be coming in. So if you are tuned, you have to remember, I just said it and it keeps coming through from source, is you are aligning yourself with people that are a vibrational match with you. So if your whole goal is to excel and move forward, stuck in seeking clarity, then you have to work on your attunement and your attraction and finding coaches that are going to help you accelerate that. Because if you're matching vibrationally with where you're currently at, you're going to have coaches that are probably not offering you the depth of knowledge that you need to propel yourself forward to the next level. Like really looking at, where are you at energetically? What programs are you running? What victim mentality? What are all the stories we tell ourselves? I mean, I as a human being even do it, you know? And it's my job to catch that, to notice that, to redirect that to what is actually real and true. And working with coaches, all can be great if they're focused on your forward momentum and your forward momentum as a spiritual being, not as a doer, not as a separate ego, not as go do this. And if you do this, you'll have all the results. Again, and I think I've talked about this in other letters I've gotten from people around coaching, going and just doing things that don't vibrationally attune with you, you're not going to get the results that you want. You're just not. You are going to be on a repeat cycle. So if you, for example, want to be a great real estate agent and you hate making phone calls, and you're working with a real estate coach, it's like, you're going to be calling FSBOs and you're going to be calling expireds. And you're like, I don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it because they said so. What kind of results do you think you're going to get? You're probably not going to get very good results because you're already in resistance to that. That's not the way you want to show up and work. So you've got to find when you're at your highest frequency, what feels the most authentic to then go act in the world. So we're not here to just be passive. We're here to also go, how do I go act in the world based on the essence of who I am, the way that I feel called to move in the world, that is my own unique vibration, my own unique frequency, and doing actions and activities that come from that inner space. So you've got to, I think if you really want to propel yourself forward, you've got to really look at finding coaches that are going to help you peel back the essence of who you are and really help you work on aligning and moving forward with a higher vibration, a higher frequency. So I would just offer finding coaches that are really working on the root cause, that are focused on how do you move forward? How do you align yourself? How do you overcome the programs that you have been running? How do you overcome maybe some of the victim mentality that we all have developed as human beings? We are more addicted to our suffering than we are to our light, and we like to do that. If we think about stories we tell when we're out with people, it's not that all of us hold our light and say how great we are. We like to talk about all the stress and all the shit that's going on because that seems more relatable. We all kind of like to quagmire in the what I would deem as negative, but it is negatively polarized because that feels more comfortable. So are you working with coaches that are really focused on their work is I am here to unlock your potential. It's not about tactics, and I see it a lot and I've talked about it a lot. Like the coaches that are like, you can make 6 figures in 60 days if you do X, Y, and Z. And people are signing up for the program and then they come back and nobody's successful, or 1 or 2 people are successful and that's it. But that's because what's happening is they're predicating on your lack. So really getting those results and sustaining them, that really doesn't happen. So you've got to really look at, where am I at? Am I finding somebody that's whole focus is to help me step into the highest version of myself, that are doing the root work issues to help you step forward? Are they doing the stuff to help you move beyond being victimized and trauma and your past, and really making you step into, okay, let's remember who you are and let's step into that. Let's step into that. Let's step in and operate from that state of being. And it's going to take a time to rewire yourself to live from that embodiment of the higher version of yourself. But that's what really good coaches are doing right now in the coaching space, is helping you elevate, helping you ground that into who you are, and helping you create sustainability. And it's less about some of the tactics and it's more about your attunement, because then you can open up your aperture to go, okay, as I work on the highest version of myself, what then feels aligned for me to go do? And as you access higher versions of yourselves, you're actually going to start getting those natural answers of whatever you're called to do in whatever space you're called to do it. So you'll also start to learn how to tune into yourself and into your intuition and into the guidance that the universe is trying to provide to you. But if you're thinking you are the individual doer and you're the one doing the work over here, and I'm just going to do these tactics and not aligning myself with what's the frequency of myself that I need to embody in order to get those results. So I would really advocate for you to take a step back, look at where you're coming from, and then going, where do I really want to be? And who's out there out in the space doing the work and doing all your discernment and not getting hooked by all the, quite honestly, bad marketing of like, oh, you want to make $100 million by doing X, Y, or Z? You've got to really look at, how is this person transforming people's lives and stepping into the frequency and creating sustainability. So then you've got to really do your discernment, and you've got to feel into what vibrationally makes me feel aligned. What makes me feel aligned with that individual? My soul is like, yes, that person is designed to help me grow. And if I don't work with them, I know I'm missing the boat. Because if you feel that whole body yes, you're going to know. And it becomes less about sales tactics and what's the price and all of those things. Great coaches are quite honestly priceless. What you would invest to get the outcome that you will get, they aren't even going to be able to put it on paper, because they're going to transform you as an individual. So I would just take the step back, stuck in seeking clarity. Look at yourself. Where am I at? What's the place I'm coming from? Am I coming from a space of lack? Am I coming from a place of, I've got to get this result, or it's do or die? Is it, I've got to get this, or all this shit's going to fall apart and I got to keep control? Like, really look at where are you at, and then go out there and hunt for coaches that are helping people elevate themselves and transcend and really grow and move in a sustainable direction. So I could probably go on and on and on, but I want to keep it very condensed of look at yourself. Where are you coming from? If you know you're in those lower vibrations of lack, attachment, anger, fear, control, whatever those are for you, if you can really distill that down and go, okay, where am I really at? And I need help with coaches to shift and change those beliefs, because that's the way I'm going to accelerate and transcend and achieve and have long-term sustainability. So that's the work I think we're here to really do. And so I would just really advocate for you to spend time there and then seek out coaches that are doing the work of where you really want to be as a human being, and not necessarily industry specific or anything like that, but where do you truly want to be? And are they going to help me get there through their work and what they do? So, great question. If you have more questions, reach back out to me. That was an incredibly authentic letter, and I appreciate your vulnerability as well as your ownership of, like, is it me or is it them? But I would also offer, it always starts with us. We're the attraction point. We're the creators of our reality. So rather than pointing fingers, it's looking at ourselves going, where am I at and what am I attracting and who am I aligning with? And if I really am called to do X, Y, or Z, who are the people that are truly going to help me get there? And I promise you, money, all those things will fall into place if it's a yes from the universe and it feels very aligned. So, great question. I appreciate it. If anybody else has any more questions on coaching or anything like that, please let me know. Thank you for joining us today on our episode of Dear Source, Your Ascendancy Hotline, where we align spiritual principles with real-world experiences. No matter what the challenges you face, peace, clarity, and wisdom are always available when you connect with your higher self. If today's discussion resonated with you and you're seeking deeper personalized guidance, I invite you to book a private session with me. Together, we can explore your spiritual path and unlock the answers you've been searching for. And if you're ready to connect with a like-minded community coming soon, we will have the Ascendancy Collective, where we support each other in our growth, healing, and ascension. You don't have to walk this path alone. Join us and let's rise together. Until next time, honor your truth and stay connected to Source.